Hey Paul, what's that plant?
Oh, this is my favorite plant in the yard, I'd have to say. This is King Kong fishtail palm, also known as Caryota gigas, or also sometimes it may be a Caryota obtusa. I'm not quite sure. There's two different variants, but they look very similar. Anyways, this plant is a palm tree native to Thailand. Sometimes they call them the Thai mountain fishtail palm. This palm tree has a lot of different names, but what you want to know, some facts about it, is that it is monocarpic, so it's going to flower once and then die anywhere from 20 to 40 years. This plant will get really tall, 60 feet in its native habitat and 30 to 40 feet in Southern California. You can see huge, great examples of this specimen palm throughout San Diego and Southern California, but the zoo has some great examples, several of these palm trees. Some individual fronds could get as big as 30 feet, maybe 40 feet from what I've read. So this palm tree gets huge. We actually have a double plant, which I'm not sure how that's going to go well. I couldn't find any information on it, but we could see it. It came, when I bought it, it had a little sucker, and I was going to pull it apart. However, I decided not to, because sometimes if you stress these plants, it will kick them into seed really early. So I want this one to get really big and full, so I didn't mess with it, and I'm just leaving them as is. It's about I planted it about 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say, and it's starting to really take off. It gets a little dry and burnt in the wind and in the frost as well. It's hardy to about 25 degrees, the mid-20s, but as it gets older, it's definitely will continue to do better and have just look like less burn on it, I guess you could say. So eventually this plant will turn into a really nice shady area for our yard. And in terms of pests, there aren't really any pests for this plant. All you really need to do is give it maybe, I'd say, a little bit of part sun when it's younger. I think full sun inland a bit will be a little hard for this plant, but if you're coastal, you can definitely do full sun with this palm. Really beautiful, amazing looking palm. It's one of a kind. Just the drawbacks are when it seeds, the seeds are very toxic, so they're a skin irritant, as well as some say that if you play with the trunk or touch the trunk of this palm too much, it can irritate your skin as well. And then also when it dies, after it flowers, it will it will stop growing, but it will survive a few more years. But when it dies, they say it's some of the most dense hard wood to remove. So Caryota, the King Kong fishtail palm, it's a Caryota species, awesome plant, bam.